welcome guys to Adishatv. Now this is going to be another two-parter, and it's been a long time since I actually said this, but it's Adishatv, how do I school? This is part 1, and then part 2 will come next week. I don't know. But yeah, so let's get into it. Here's the intro. First part, I'm going to tell you how it was like without saying anything in school. We're going to talk about primary and secondary as well. We're going to talk about the side where this happened, this is good, this. We're going to focus on that part, and then after that we're going to focus on the part where I have left school and what is next, and that will come out next week. So let's get right into it now. So everyone goes to school, and we need to. Can you give me 2 seconds, please? Saw a wasp, I did. And we need to go to school because, well, we need to get a qualification, and that's how you get a job. But luckily they did that. I actually first went to school like anyone else back in their primary years. They thought that it was fun, but also boring at the same time. I remember having this chat once with this teacher, saying that why it's important to come to school and also to get a qualification. And they are right, they are. Now, in life, do you need a qualification for most things? If you want to be a YouTuber and make YouTube videos and get money from it, I would say no, because it doesn't require that type of standard, and it requires you, video camera, and laptop and YouTube. So yeah. Couple of bits that I did learn, that you're going to get the good people and you're going to get the bad people. The good people you want to focus on more. The bad people you just want to get them out of your lives. Like, as soon as you leave school, if you don't like that person and you've had some bad experience with them, just leave them behind as soon as you leave school. But it goes the other way around. If you leave school and they're still going to be at the next educational bit, what is college, then you're a bit, well, yeah, sorry, you're going to have to wait a couple of more years to get rid of them for good, and then after that you will. But mainly when you leave school, hopefully that person should be gone, because there's no point seeing them all the time if you've had bad history. But if you focus on good people, then that's good, that is. Because the good people are just good. They're nice, funny, caring. What else did I learn? I learned that teachers can be a bit of a douche, yeah. I learned that sometimes they like to upset the pupils, and sometimes they do not want to upset the pupils. But you'll find the good ones that you like. You've got the good staff members and you've got the bad staff members. Like I said, focus on the good ones and leave behind the bad ones. Because the good ones are the ones who you can talk to. They're funny, nice, caring, they like you when you're being around, and etc. Because that's how it's supposed to go. And I'm quite thankful that those people I didn't like left a year ago. Also in school you learn about different situations. One, do the teachers put you in these situations? No. Mainly if they're in charge and they're teaching, but when you're in school you're going to be put in these different situations of should I do this or should I not do this? Because it can end up in deep consequences. Not meaning that the teacher's going to tell you off, meaning that the people who are in your class are going to be a bit mad at you. They are. No, they're not going to be mad, they're going to wish that you wasn't even alive. That's deep, I know, but look at someone who's been at school for a couple of years, 10 I think, I don't know. And a couple of situations I'd just like to say is, one, what to do if there's a fight going on between, like you're seeing the fight and it's basically you're standing there and it's between these two people. What do? You get involved, you do. You make sure they don't hit each other, because if they start fighting and if it gets to that area where someone's bleeding and someone's just losing like a tooth, then that's when it gets a bit serious, because violence is never the solution. I have people around me who think violence is the solution, and I just like to say that it's not, because I just want to ask you a question. Would you want violence to get so bad that you would actually kill that person? Because the law, this is why we have the law, so the law can protect us from you, because I don't want to be around someone who would want to support violence. So only get involved with these type of fights and stuff if they're actually physically using their fists. If they're using words, then don't. But sometimes, very rarely, you're going to have to get involved somehow because they're your friend. If they're your bestest friend and you know how they act and you know how they feel, then you're probably going to get involved already, you are, because you just want to protect them, you do. And that is perfectly okay. But if it's someone that you don't like and they're getting called nasty words, then don't get involved with it. Also, if the teacher notices that these two pupils are having a bit of an argument, then the teacher will deal with them. But sometimes the teachers don't always notice, and that's a bad thing, that is. And another situation that I've been in is when, well, this is quite topical, and I just like to say that after this, probably things weren't going too well for me anymore. But stealing. Now, everyone knows that stealing is wrong. If you steal from a shop, from a restaurant, you're basically breaking the law, and the popo will come to you, the police, and that's not good. I'd just like to say, how does this stealing start? It can start in many ways, but there's another way that it could start. When you're younger, in your younger years of being in school, that's when it could start. Because if you start stealing little bits like paper, glue, scissors, stuff that you might already have at home, then that's when it starts. And if you start there, it could go in two ways. You could like stealing then, but then just look back at yourself and say, I shouldn't have done that. Or it could go the other way around. It could be like, you like stealing now, and you're going to carry on doing it for forever. If you do carry on doing that, if you do it in a school, there's no really any law breakers until it's something that is really valuable. If you're going to steal someone's phone, then there's actually breaking a law. Even if you steal money, you're breaking the law, you are, because they probably needed that money for something that would be very important. Now, if you're going to do that in a shop, if you're going to steal money or steal an item from that shop, the police unless, probably, the police will come. They will. If you keep running, the police will come to you, and you may get thrown in jail with a criminal sentence. And this is why I say to people who will look back at this maybe in 15 years time. I'm 15 years old, and I'm going to tell you this. I've never done this throughout my whole life, but I've seen people done it. I'm going to tell you this: do not steal. I'm honestly telling you, if you do it, you'll probably regret it in your later life, because if someone sees you, they're probably going to tell on someone because they're worried about your future. They are. By the way, if you mostly do this in college, in most colleges, they will basically kick you out if you do that. And that's just something people are going to have to live with. So I'm going to say to younger people who are my age in the next 15 years time, do not steal, please. Because if you don't steal, things will be alright. I know it's hard, and I know that you can't get what you want all the time. That is not the right way to go down, because you may think it's fun, but it ruins the whole experience for everyone else. I've seen pupils steal. I would say the worst possible thing that a pupil has stolen from another, let's say, teacher, is money. That's when I got worried, because unfortunately, if you steal money, that's a lawbreaker, that is, and you can get serious trouble. And I will be probably disgusted if that wasn't a law. So yeah, don't steal, it's not worth it. Also, will people feel nervous about going to school every single day, even when they're in year 10 or year 11 or any year? Of course they will. Of course they will, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like a teacher might have said today, oh, we're going to do this and tomorrow that. Yeah, you're going to feel nervous. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's perfectly okay to feel nervous. And if someone makes the nerves even more worse, then that guy's an idiot. I'm telling you. So it's okay to feel nervous. And also, the main bit that stood out for me in life was actually in school. What used to scare me, and I used to get quite nervous about it, would be our sports lesson. We have another name for it, but I'm not going to say it because that probably will reveal some truth. Sports was the lesson what I absolutely hated. People started to hate it who was around me eventually, but it took some time. I've been hating it since year 7 or year 8. No, even before then, primary. I hated it then. Just people get too competitive and they don't understand their consequences, and I shouldn't be linking this at all. I should not be actually saying this video of what I'm going to say.